Good afternoon, it's time. It's time for another NFL Bucky's Meal Day. The show is Mike C, and of course, star of the show, as always, it's Bucky. Say hi, Bucky. Bucky says hi. Well, it's after Christmas, and we had a fantastic Christmas day. We opened presents, and Carla loved hers, and I loved mine. And this is one of my favorite videos to make all year because I get to show you what Carla got me. And but she loved her presents. She loved her perfume. She loved her Suki candle. She cried. We all both cried a little bit. I know I did. She cried more. And she got a gift card and all just very good presents. They all worked, and I was very happy about that. And I got some great presents, which I'm going to show you in a little while. But first, we have to talk about the elephant in the room. Fortunately, there's not an elephant in here, but there's a badger, but not an elephant. The Lions lost to the Minnesota Vikings for the second time this season, 23-10, in a terrible looking game. Just they were uninspired. They just didn't give a damn. They didn't care. They had 2 sacks, 7 turnovers, something like that. I don't know. It's a bunch of. And there's fumbles, there's interceptions. Goff didn't play all that well. Their offensive line is atrocious. It gives Swiss cheese a bad name. And I like Swiss cheese, but it's just horrible. They're moving parts all over the place. Just no continuity. Offensive line, you have to have continuity. You have to work as a total unit. And this had none. It was just horrible. Goff couldn't throw long because he didn't have time. He could barely throw short and intermediate passes. He had 1 touchdown pass to Tesla, of course. Other than that, no. They had chances. They still had chances to win this stupid game. And they just, I don't know what they did. I don't want to say they gave up, but it was close because the effort and the passion and the grit was not there. And Minnesota was not a very good team, still aren't. Quarterback is not very good. They had like 57 yards rushing until Addison broke a big play that sealed the game, basically. And JJ only had 50-some yards. My fantasy teams took a big hit because it's pretty much all or nothing because I got a lot of lines in my lineup. And it's going to be tough. I might not win any this year. We'll see. I do have, some other players coming up. I had the Chiefs lost to the Broncos, and the Cowboys beat the Commanders. But other than that, I had 1 or 2 players. Didn't really have that many. I didn't start Mahomes, obviously. So we'll see what happens. I wasn't going to do one today, but we wanted to kind of clean up, the living room and put away the Christmas stuff. So we're starting that. So, let's get my stuff done, and we can finish off. But the Lions, speaking of finished, the Lions season is finished. They're 8-8. They're going to lose next week against the Bears. The Packers have qualified for the playoffs because the Lions lost. And they're just, it's the same old problems. Offensive line, horrible. Defensive line, now Hutch had a couple sacks, and I think Muhammad had a couple of sacks. That was it. Wilkinson couldn't find him with a searchlight. Davenport, why he's even on the team, I have no idea. Secondary, But just, it was a very poorly played game on both sides. And it was just very frustrating to watch. There's only 2 good things I can come up with that help the Lions. One is their draft pick. They might get a little higher draft pick. We'll see. And the schedule for next year should be a lot easier because they'll probably finish 4th. I think they will finish 4th. So they'll get an easier schedule. Other than that, they got to make a lot of changes. They need an offensive coordinator. And Murphy just came down. And, it's just very sad. And this team had a lot of potential. But, they just fell apart. They just did not have what it takes. And So congratulations to all the teams that made it. The Packers and Bears, we'll see how they do. And but yeah, a lot of player personnel changes. A lot of players play their last game for Detroit. I can think of like 5 offhand. And I think they definitely need an offensive coordinator and just a big overhaul, not just little nitpicking, little piece here, piece there. They got to, I don't say clean house because they got a lot of talent still on this team. Just part of it has to be gutted because these old contracts and old players, and just get rid of them. They're not doing anybody any good. Players like Dan Skipper and Marcus Davenport. God. Those guys are gone. I think Anzalone's gone. And so now it's the playoffs and draft is really, gathering steam because, obviously. And one other thing too I mentioned, I think as of now, I think offensive tackle is a bigger need than defensive end. It's very close. But what I would do is, and they're not going to ask me obviously, is switch Penei Sewell to left tackle and draft a right tackle because it's easier to have a starting tackle in place already for left tackle than throwing a rookie in. And most of the tackles I've seen are right tackles, and then they need another guard, and they have to totally revamp. They don't have an offensive line. They have to totally revamp their offensive line except for Penei. But the center's been a problem all year. Ratledge might be a center. We'll see. It's just a lot of work in the offseason, and it has to be done. Is Campbell on the hot seat? It's getting kind of warm, to be honest with you. But he's not in danger, in my opinion. I've seen some people call for his head or resign. No, I don't see that happening. Did he lose the team? I don't think so. But he's definitely, seat's getting warmer because it's just not a good, not a good situation in Detroit right now. There it is. The Hawks are slumping, and they can be in real trouble falling apart this season. But, Bucky, what in the world do you have in front of you? Well, these are most of my presents, not all of them, most of them. And I'll go through them. On Bucky's far right is a Led Zeppelin mug right here. Very cool. Wasn't expecting that. Next to that is a ankle and foot massager. Charged up. It's already charged. Just have to play it or use it, not play it. And I'm very happy about that. I was expecting that. I had one of those in my cart, and it's a one. You just switch it off. So that's going to come in very handy. I love that. In front of Bucky, I've got a scent maker atomizer, I think it's called, something like that, atomizer. And of course it's Batman, and it comes with 6 little cubes you put in there, and heats it up. So that's very cool. It's gonna stay down here in the cave. And Bucky's wearing a shirt. I got 3 of them, and they're all different designs. This one's got the lions in front, and Batman's in the back. So maybe next video I'll put the other side of the Batman one, so I can replace some shirts I've had for 20 years probably. And I'll put one down here, the best one. I got a spot for it, so that'll be cool. So I got some stuff for the cave. That was very nice. And behind Bucky, I've got it's a little blanket, and it's got Murphy's picture on it with the lions in the corner. And kind of see it there. It's so hard. There's the lions in there. And it's got number 11 on it. And it's an actual picture of Murphy. So and it's very soft. Just a little light blanket, which is very nice. I got got a few other things. I got some skull lip gloss, which was cool. I got some dude wipes, which is always useful. And I think that's it. Yeah, but it's a great, a great haul, and I loved every one of them. And as I said, Carla really loved her Suki candle and other presents. and she wants to go shopping today, so we're gonna get this out of the way. We're gonna get this finished, and we went to Carla's sister's in-laws' house and had a very, very good dinner. We had kids and lots of presents around, and good food. It was a very good time. We got back to watch, I think, the second quarter or so, but that didn't turn out so well. But all in all, it was very, very good Christmas, and so I'm very happy. I hope you had a very Merry Christmas or wherever you celebrate. And the weather here is like 50 something today, which is spectacular. And the next couple of days it's going to be very nice, so that's great. And yeah, the season's over, and but there's a lot of change coming that's needed, and we'll keep on top of it, and we'll see what happens. But next we'll get some videos and we'll switch out the shirts so you can see both sides and which ones they are. And yeah, it was a great Christmas, and that's about it, Bucky. Yep. So, we got New Year's coming. I have to find I have something from Pinterest I can get for New Year's. We don't do much for New Year's. It's not that big of a deal. When you get older, it's like, New Year's is for single people mostly. But anyway, we'll have one more video on next Sunday. The following Sunday, I should say. We won't have one in a couple days. End of the season, wrap up for the Lions, and be the last one of 2025. I believe 2026 is already close, but time moves on. So for Mike's Scenic Horror Star Show, as always, it's Bucky. Say bye, Bucky. Bucky says bye. And take care, everybody, and be safe, and enjoy the holidays, and get home safe in your travel, and we'll catch you down the road. Bye now.